Motormouth Jenkins here, welcoming you to our brand new YouTube channel. Hope that you'll come back and see every segment each and every week, and I will share preventative maintenance tips and regularly scheduled maintenance tips for your car. So whether you know a little bit about your car or absolutely nothing, this is the channel just for you, where I share over 35 years of experience as a qualified and licensed service technician with truck and coach, light truck and passenger vehicles. Come back and visit us and tell your friends, and we'll see you each and every week right here in the Car Connection Workshop on YouTube. Welcome back to our Car Connection Workshop. Your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, here with you. Glad that you could stop by. Yes, we have something else to teach you on your automobile. You know, owning and operating an automobile can be a blessing and a curse. Am I right, or am I right? Not many people like to spend a ton of money on their vehicle, but here's an area that is the number one most neglected area on any type of vehicle that has a cooling system. You guessed it, the cooling system. And we are in fall officially. We're officially in fall. It's 54 degrees today here in Fort Erie, Ontario, Canada. It's not snowing, so we're thankful for that. But we're going to check the cooling system. Now, a lot of people think it's just as simple and as easy peasy as we want to make sure that the antifreeze is not going to freeze. It's not going to slush up. The system's not going to boil over. But here's what you need to know. It is the number one system on every automobile that is the fail point. So what are we looking for? We're not just looking for freeze point. We're not just looking to make sure that we're not losing coolant all over the ground. The cooling system test is, first of all, we need to know the freeze point, the boiling point, the acid corrosion level, the pH balance, and also to make sure that we have the right ratio of coolant to water. And we don't use tap water. It has to be distilled water. You use tap water to mix with your antifreeze, you've contaminated your vehicle system. It does not like any kind of contamination, heavy metals, carbons, you name it, lead, zinc, aluminum. If that's in the water you mix with your antifreeze, you've got a problem already. It's going to cause possible service light. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to use a couple of tools I brought with me. On this particular vehicle, I'm going to need my Stork pliers. It doesn't deliver babies, but it's going to get my coolant strip into the overflow bottle. And this is what I've used for many years to test with, Cool-Track strips. You can get them at most of your local parts stores. And what I love, it gives you the chart for all the tests that we need to see the results for when we're looking at your vehicle's antifreeze. So again, it's not just freeze point, boil point, but we need to know pH level, pH balance, acid corrosion level. Because I can show you right now a little baby bottle full of antifreeze, and my question to you when you look at it, is it brand new or is it used? And when you look at it, you'll say, oh, that's got to be brand new antifreeze. Well, is it good or is it not good? And you'd probably say, well, that looks okay. I'd put that in my car. And with a test strip, that little bottle, that little sample I have, is way off the charts when it comes to the acid corrosion level, right into the yellow. This means it's destructive antifreeze. It's going to eat things like intake gaskets, head gaskets, cylinder heads, because we're dealing with aluminum heads. It etches the heads. It's a nightmare. So this is the way you got to test it. So on this particular vehicle, this 09 Mercedes SUV, we have a closed system. That means this is our upper tank on our radiator. This is the container that we need to pay attention to. Where is the fluid level? And be very, very careful as well with this, because when the vehicle's hot, this canister is pressurized. So you want to let the vehicle sit, and when you undo this, when the vehicle has been running already and it's up to 195 degrees Fahrenheit, we want to open it slowly, and you'll hear it actually hiss. And once that hissing stops, you're safe to undo this. And remember, play safe. Make sure you wear safety glasses when you do the job as well. I have permanent safety glasses, but play safe. So with this particular reservoir, it's hard for me to reach down in there. And here's the thing. we already know that we have a low coolant light on, so I want to test the antifreeze. Before I just go ahead and put some new antifreeze in here, I want to make sure we're not adding perfectly good antifreeze with not so good antifreeze. So because the fluid level is down, I use my good friend here, my apprentice today, the Stork pliers, and we only stick this in there for about 3 seconds and then pull it out, and then I watch for the change in the color. So this strip here, see this salmon colored block, pertains to this chart. So that reading there is going to pertain to this chart. The top reading, the yellow brick or block, if you will, is the measurement for the acid, corrosion, and alkalinity level. So again, the bottom reading is going to give us our percentage of glycol antifreeze on here. It's going to give us the strength based on the color. The second chart is going to tell us, is it good, bad, or ugly? The acid, corrosion level, and alkalinity and pH balance is the second block. So here we go, 3 seconds. Make sure it goes into the coolant and don't drop it in the radiator in the overflow bottle. Not a good idea. And out we come. Here we go. And we already have a change. So we're going to the first block, we're going to measure it up to the scale here, and I'm going to say we're definitely at 60%. So our water to coolant is good. We're 60. Now down to the acid corrosion level. This is where it changes and it gets interesting. Okay, so if it were yellow, like we started with, that would be really bad. But it doesn't match there. It kind of matches there, don't you think? I would say it's not dark enough to be that block, but it's definitely a match there. So let's read the chart now. This is the OK zone right here. So from this green, this dark green, to the lighter green, we're okay. See that right there? We're okay, but I always say just. That means we're on the low side of the scale. I like to be on this side, but this side is still safe. I would say on this particular vehicle, I'm safe to top it up, and then in the spring, definitely do a really good service flush of the cooling system and put brand new complete coolant in, all of it. So at that point, but we're safe for the winter. We're not going to freeze. We're at 60%, so we're good for minus 60 Fahrenheit. And I'm going to tell you this, from motor mouth to you, if it's that cold, I ain't coming outside. I'm putting a log on the fire and sit back and have an espresso. In here, we're still, again, we are in the satisfactory, the okay position to top up and continue. All right, and we're back, and we got our favorite flavor for this particular vehicle. And I do want to make mention of, you know, we're in a technology now and a techno era with vehicles. I love the older ones. I love the muscle cars and everything else. They're more simple to work on. Everything was simple then, but now things are high tech, and fluids are also one of them. So you can't just go out and find a universal fluid anymore for anything. Fluids are now specific to the year, make, and model. Don't take it for granted that and kind of think 15, 20 years ago, oh, you know, my granddad just go to the hardware store and get some antifreeze or get some power steering fluid. There's just, you know, there's a universal fluid for everything. Not anymore. Not anymore. Fluids are specific to each and every vehicle, whether it be power steering, whether it be cooling system, brake fluid, transmission oil, differential oils, make, year, model, and manufacturer. You want to make sure you get the right fluid for the job. And on this particular vehicle, it is a diesel. It is a Mercedes diesel. And again, we need the right coolant to go in there. You put a tablespoon of the wrong antifreeze into a vehicle that it shouldn't go in, and you have contaminated the entire cooling system, just like that. What does that mean in English? The whole system's got to be flushed completely to make sure that that product you put in that doesn't belong there gets out of the whole system. That's a big job. So again, fluid specific to every year, make, and model. Make sure that you're putting the fluid the manufacturer and engineers call for on the vehicle you're working on and on the system that you're working on as well. So we're going to top this one up, and it's down quite a ways, so I'm going to suggest to the owner of this particular vehicle that we pay attention to make sure there isn't any fluid on the driveway or anywhere else, and that your neighbor's not coming out and sucking it out with a turkey baster and putting it into his Mercedes because he needs some. So I've heard of that happening, so check on that. Keep an eye on your neighbor. Make sure he's not stealing your antifreeze or borrowing it. Can I borrow a cup of antifreeze? No, you can't. So now we have the system. It's back up. It's right to the mark, and it'll probably settle down a little bit more, and it is going down. So you want to make sure that, again, you put the right product in, you fill it up, you make sure you check the line where it's got to be. This usually has a high and a low. So right now we're about an inch from the top, which is fine. That's good. So we're in good shape. This will blend with what's in there. And the reason being is because this antifreeze in this jug is a match for this particular vehicle, which is also diesel powered. So put the cap back on, tighten it down. Remember, it's not holding the engine in, so you don't need to tighten it too much, and crack the canister. And this car is now ready for winter. So till next time, keep it under 100. Put the coffee on, because we're coming to your house. Well, thank you for stopping by the Car Connection Workshop right here on YouTube. Don't forget to come back and join us for another segment. So like, share, tag, and follow, and ding that bell so that you don't miss a single edition of Car Connection. So till next time, keep it under 100 and put the coffee on, because we're coming to your house.